Hey, welcome to Strip Cover Lit. I'm Adrian Fort.
And I'm Dalton Gentry.
And we're here with you for another episode of Writerly Quotes of the Week. Dalton, what's our quote?
I've got it. We're just going full out with our love here. Stephen King today. The quote is, "If you don't have the time to read, you don't have the time or the tools to write." Simple as that.
I think there's a ton of truth in that statement.
I think knowing a little bit about Stephen King's work schedule, there is more truth in that statement.
I think that knowing a lot of the work that Stephen King has done, there is more truth in that statement.
I think you look great in my suit, but let's not just keep this going here.
I look like I'm about to get made.
I love it. I love it. But that is absolute truth. To be a good writer, you must be a good reader.
To be a good reader, it helps to be a good writer.
And they go hand in hand. And I think that's what our focus was when we made this channel, is to address both writers and readers. Yes, we're separate people, but to be good at one, you must have an understanding of the other.
Yeah.
At least, at minimum.
Practice, practice, practice. I think that every word you write makes you one word better as a writer. Every book you read makes you how many words better as a writer. Because you're not only picking up the good things that you do like. I think that a big part of being a reader as a writer is understanding the bad things as you don't like them.
And I don't want to say it's an unachievable goal to say that I'm going to read everything. I'm going to read every single piece of literature. I'm going to write everything. It is impossible at this point. You will never be able to read everything. You will never be able to dedicate every moment of your life to writing. You have to be able to balance the two. But I think what King is saying here is, in order to be successful with one, you must harness the other as a tool. You shouldn't be afraid, as a writer, to dedicate a day to reading. It's necessary.
Right. The way that I sort of think about it is, for example, as an athlete, playing in a football game makes you a lot better at football.
Yes, yes.
But when you go to practice and you go through the tackling drills, that's like reading. Each drill makes you better at the sport, but it's in a different way.
Yeah.
It's ultra focused.
Let me just, continue your example. I can't go up to someone who has not read a book in 20 years and said, "Here, this is James Joyce's Ulysses. Have a good day. Let me know what you think of it by next week."
Right.
You have to be trained as a reader to be a successful reader. You have to be trained as a writer. You can't just sit down and pour out 5,000 words a day.
Right. Even if you were doing free writing, that begins to wear on you.
Yes. You have to warm up before you can run the marathon.
Right. And you have to go to practice before you can play in the game.
Exactly. I agree wholeheartedly with King on this one. I think we should be focusing our time as writers to reading and as readers to writing. There has to be a happy balance between those two to be successful.
And when you take it a step further outside of just the practice, to facilitate writing, right? I know plenty of writers, and I have known plenty of writers that didn't read because they were better than everything, right?
Yes.
Stephen King, I'm better than that. I don't need to read that. Ernest Hemingway, I'm better than Ernest Hemingway. I don't need to read that. Ernest Hemingway, Stephen King, F. Scott Fitzgerald, George Saunders. Even if I've read a lot of bad books. And I learned from every one.
But as writers, we're almost inherently negative towards other writers because we're envious people. We're jealous people.
Right, we're competitive people.
We're very competitive. But you have to be able to get over that. And you have to be able to yield to the fact that you must be reading other people's writing. You have to give your writing up to be critiqued, which I'm notoriously bad at.
Well, you also have to support the community for there to be a community left to support you.
And taking it even further, you're an artist, first and foremost. This is your craft. Therefore, go support someone who's painting. Go support someone who's a musician. It's all one and the same, really.
Support us by hitting that subscribe button.
Make sure you follow us on Twitter @StrippedCover and on Facebook @StripCoverLit.
See you next time.